You've been going through the home buying process. You qualified for a loan, you found a realtor, you found the house, and you placed the bid. Now what? I want to tell you about 5 things you should be prepared for after your bid has been accepted. I'm Susan Holland with the firm Real Estate Agency in Ozark, Missouri. Let's get started. Number 1, after your bid has been accepted, you may have to pay escrow. Escrow, or earnest money, is a good faith deposit to show you're serious. It can be whatever you and the seller agree upon. For instance, it could be $500, $1,000, $5,000. Sometimes it might not even be required, but you need to plan on it just in case. In Missouri, you give the escrow check to the realtor, who in turn gives it to the broker, or straight to the title company, which is where the broker sends it to. It is held until closing, then it goes down toward your down payment, if all goes well and there are no deal breakers on either side. Now, if there are reasons, which I will discuss in detail in a bit, where you walk away from the deal, maybe while you're in the inspection period because there's something wrong with the property, if the appraisal comes in below the purchase price, if interest rates rise a full point, causing you not to be able to afford the monthly payment, or before the loan contingency is up, you are entitled to get the earnest money back as long as you are in the allotted time frames stated in the contract. But if you are in breach of contract, the seller would be entitled to keep that money. So you want to make sure you are sticking with the terms of the contract so you do not lose your earnest money. We do not want to ever lose your money, ever. So your offer is accepted, but it is conditional on the home inspection, the appraisal, and the ability to get the loan. The seller is legally required to fill out a seller's disclosure that tells you everything that they are aware of about the house. For instance, how old are the roof, the furnace, and the HVAC system? They will disclose and date the last major repairs and/or additions, but let's face it, the seller is not purposely not telling you about the major issues about the house because there are so many things, big and little, that can be missed. So, number 2, it is your responsibility to hire a home inspector who will practically look at everything on the house and in the house. The roof, the furnace, the HVAC, the attic, the crawl space, the basement, the electrical outlets, the plumbing, the appliances that are supposed to stay, the foundation, and the list goes on. You definitely want a well-respected home inspector. After the inspection, you will receive a lengthy report on the property and any issues. If you do not know a good home inspector, ask your realtor, who will have a list of area inspectors you choose from, or that you can choose from. I did a 3-part series on what to ask a home inspector before, after, and during the home inspection. If you need a guide through the necessary home inspection process, take a look at those videos. The home inspector might find little things that either you can live with or can fix without a problem, or that can easily be negotiated with the seller to fix. Now, let's say the home inspector finds something that you feel is a deal breaker. You and your realtor need to discuss how you want to handle it, because there are several ways your realtor can negotiate if you choose. You can ask the seller to fix it, but if it is something big, like the roof needs to be replaced, the seller may refuse. Therefore, you can get out of the contract and search for another house. Or you can take the house as is and ask the seller to lower the purchase price. Again, if the seller refuses, you can walk away from the deal. Or you can ask the seller to pay for the part of the repairs if the purchase price is lowered. See where I'm going with all of this? At this point, it depends on you and how significant the issue is. You can negotiate or walk away. If you negotiate and it goes well, fantastic. But if you negotiate and the seller does not want to fix the issue, it is your way out. Keep in mind, as much as we would like it, there are no perfect houses without any issues. That is part of being a homeowner. But if someone is trying to sell a home, it is important that you know what goes on beyond the seller's disclosure through a home inspection. Also, remember, you can get second opinions from either another home inspector or from a specific professional like a plumber or an HVAC expert. The seller may also call in a professional if there is a disagreement on the home inspection. If you're getting an FHA, VA, or USDA loan, the lender will require a termite inspection too. And even if it is a conventional or cash, it is a good idea to ask for the termite inspection. These large and small issues are why the home inspection is needed. If you do not find out before you buy the house, then sorry, you're stuck with it. None of us want that scenario. Now, what else happens while we're in contract? That brings me to number 3. The bank will have an appraisal done. The bank hires the appraiser to make sure the house is worth what you offered. The appraisal is not like the inspection. It is about matching the purchase price to the loan amount. Usually there are no issues with an appraisal, but sometimes in a seller's market, a buyer will bid over the purchase price. Then there can be an issue if the appraisal does not show the house is worth that amount. If that is the case, you can either back out of the deal or you will have to pay the amount that goes over the purchase price on your own. It is not going to be part of your loan. If the house does not appraise out and you decide to walk away from the deal, you will get your escrow money back. Next, working with your lender. Number 4, the bank will also work on getting final loan approval for you. Do not go out and make any large purchases during this time. For instance, don't go out and buy a new car or a new boat or a new trailer for your truck on credit during this time period. The lender wants to know you can pay the mortgage loan they are giving you. Do not give them any reason to doubt your ability to qualify for the loan. You don't want to make any major purchases on credit that will affect the ability for you to qualify for the mortgage loan. The lender is going to go deep when they start digging into your credit history. Make sure you have an explanation for anything that might arise. For instance, if the bank finds that you missed an electric bill payment from the apartment that you lived in 3 years ago in St. Louis, they will want you to give a letter of explanation of why you missed the payment. Get on top of it immediately. The longer you wait to clear it up with the bank, the longer it will take the bank to give you the loan approval, which will put you outside the contract closing date that you agreed upon. And let's say that you set the closing date for 40 days out from the time your bid was accepted and the contract was signed. Well, the seller does not have to agree to give you an extension. Or if they do give you an extension, they can keep the earnest money because you were in breach of contract. So make sure you do everything that is stated in the contract and within the dates of the contract. And make sure you turn everything into the lender as quickly as possible so you do not lose your escrow money or give the seller a reason to cancel the contract. If you must turn in a letter of explanation to your bank, you must show the bank that you are responsible with your money and that you do not make it a habit of not paying your bills on time. These are reasons they could choose not to give you a mortgage. So, if they ask why you didn't pay your bill, you could say, well, I moved to Springfield and left my forwarding address, and I did not receive the bill with the outstanding balance. Then I received the call making me aware of the balance, and I paid it immediately over the phone. If I'd known, I would have paid it sooner. I'm sorry, but I did take care of it the best I could as soon as I found out. In your letter, tell them why it happened and how you took care of the situation. Show them that you are not irresponsible with your finances. Number 5, closing time. Everything has gone as planned. There were a few things in the inspection that were negotiated and taken care of in the inspection notice. The seller fixed the minor things that were broken. The appraisal came in and it was all good, and now it's time to close. You're solid with the closing date, and you will want to do a walkthrough a day or even up to 4 days before the closing. The contract was written while the seller still lived in the house, and you just want to see that there isn't a big hole behind the couch or in the wall where the large mirror was hanging. You want to see that they left everything they said they would in the contract, such as the stove and the refrigerator. You just want to make sure the house is in the same condition it was when you wrote your final offer, that they have moved everything out and they did not leave a big mess. In Missouri, the lender and the title company will tell you exactly how much you need to bring to the closing to the penny. Be sure you get a certified check or you set up a wire transaction. You're going to need to sign a lot of documents, basically saying, I promise to pay my mortgage, I promise to pay the loan, yes, I will pay the mortgage, yes, I'm going to pay the loan, and if I don't repay the loan, you can foreclose on my house, but I promise to pay the loan. You get the picture. A lot of signing. When everything is signed and the money has been exchanged, you get the keys. In Missouri, that means you can immediately start moving in. Woohoo! So, you have made it through the process of buying your house. Some final thoughts? Find a great agent first who is going to do the heavy lifting in the negotiations and talking to all parties involved, from the seller's agent to the lender, to the home inspector, to the appraiser, to the title company. Someone who is going to be your advocate all the way through the process. Someone you feel comfortable talking to and who can ease your stress over this major investment in your life. Then get pre-approved so you know how much you can qualify for, so you know exactly how much your monthly payment will be. Be willing to negotiate. If there are 20 bids on a house, you may need to offer over the asking price if that is the house you want. Just keep in mind that the lender will not typically loan over the appraised price. Be sure you have some savings for unforeseen problems. You never know when some maintenance issue, big or small, is going to pop up. Sometimes homeowners insurance will cover it, but you can't always depend on that. When you buy a house, you're making an investment that could bring you a future profit of $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 or even more after a few years of making payments, depending on how much it has appreciated if you take care of it and have built up equity, which is money paid toward the principal loan. That, my friends, is a great return on your investment. You have to live somewhere anyway. Why pay your landlord's mortgage when you can be paying your own? Later, you can also walk away with a nice big check from the profit you made when you resell it. If you've gone through the house buying process or are currently going through it, please share your experiences below in the comments along with any questions. If you like the information in this video, please hit the subscribe, hit the like, and the bell so you can get notifications for each of my weekly videos. If you are in the Springfield, Missouri area, give me a shout and I would love to help you with your real estate process. Until next time, I am Susan Holland with the Firm Real Estate Agency, and I love living in the Ozarks.